Ahoy, mateys! Welcome to Module 2, Unit 4, Searching Tips and Tricks. Today we're going to start in Google. We're going to go to google.com and we're going to type in the name of one of our ancestors. I'm going to start with Wilford Isaac Lewis. Now make sure to put a quote at the beginning and a quote at the end of the ancestor's name. And let's see what happens when we use quotes. Now, do you see the results at the very top? There's only about 8 results, which is awesome. When you put quotes around a name, it's going to search the whole thing together. So Wilford Isaac Lewis together, any records with that full name. And you can see here, we see something from Ancestry, and then a PDF coming from FamilySearch. So we're going to go ahead and try that link. And it's pulling up a record that looks like it was attached to my great-grandparents through memories, and it's some kind of a church report. And so we're going to do a whole lesson on how to add memories onto FamilySearch, but this was actually found through Google. So it's another way to search records. Let's go back to Google and let's do a few different things. First, let's continue to scan down that original page and see if there's anything else available. I see one called the Clan Stapleton. This is a family I've seen on our pedigree chart, so let's take a look. This is actually a Google book that you can purchase as well on the top left, and it has tons of information. It looks like I've actually never seen this book before, but it has lots of family names, so this will be something I'll need to dive into later on, which is exciting. So Google Books are great resources. I've found all kinds of things through just searching the name and then popping into those kind of books. Now I'm seeing Find a Grave, but that's not my ancestor. And let's see, anything else here. On the bottom, there are some images that you can look at to see if they match with your ancestor or not. Looks like some tombstones and records. Now, if we go up to the top in Google and actually take off those quotes, watch what happens to our count. So now it says about 450,000 results. So do you see what happens when we take the quotes off and then we add them on? So now it's looking for every Wilford, every Isaac, every Lewis. It could be together, it could be just 2 of them together, and so it's giving us tons. Now at the beginning, those kind of look like matches to some of my family members, but again, you're going to have hundreds of thousands of records to go through. I know this one on the bottom, that name sounds familiar from some long ago ancestors. So use quotes and then take the quotes off and search just by itself. And then you can also add information after the name. So if you put quotes back around the name, you can take the middle name off, just put I, just put the first initial. You can also add like a death date, a birth date, a location, but I would put them after the quotes. And so not in the quotes, but put them after and then search that way too. And so the most important thing to do is quotes in the name and then any kind of extra thing like California or 1898. Those kind of dates or places can be added after. And then go ahead and research to see what other information pops up. So really you're going to use similar techniques to what we did in our last lesson regarding refining the searches in FamilySearch. Same kind of concepts with a little less information. Okay, let's go back to Family Tree and let's talk about some other ways to search records. If you click on Ancestry under Search Records, you can open up an account in Ancestry, and they have some great records too. My go-tos are FamilySearch, Find a Grave, Google, and Ancestry are kind of my top 4 choices that I use currently. And so when you click on it, it'll ask you if you want to go out. It's going to take you outside of FamilySearch into Ancestry. I'm already logged into the account, so it's just pulling up the information there. On the left-hand side, we'll have everything filled in already from FamilySearch, so it fills that in really nicely. On the right, these are going to be the records. It'll tell you what report it is, and then on the right, some details. If you hover over any of the records, it will show you kind of the information about that record. So kind of a bird's eye view, so you don't have to go in and click, open a new window and look at the data. Now as you scroll down, you're going to see a lot of crossover between FamilySearch and Ancestry, which is just fine. But there are certain things that are only on Ancestry and certain things that are only on FamilySearch. One of the things I found that Ancestry has a lot more records about are marriage records. If I don't have a marriage record, if I haven't seen one, I will go to Ancestry and half the time I find one. So it's a great resource for marriage records. Now if you need to change anything, just click on Edit Search and you're going to go ahead and change in these fields. You got birth, location. It's very similar to FamilySearch. On those dates, you can change it to be a year or two before or after the date you put in there. There's a list of family members. It's going to automatically load everybody in here. And so if you don't want all of them to be searched, go ahead and just unclick all those children's names. And then we're going to add back in the husband. Because right now we are trying to look for a marriage record. So click on spouse and then type in the name of her spouse if you know what it is. And then we're just going to hit enter and it's going to redo the search results for us. And then on the bottom, it can search different records. We're just going to leave it on historical records. There is a whole course that could be done on Ancestry. This isn't the course for that. This is just a brief overview of Ancestry of what I really just use on a daily basis. So I don't get into too much on Ancestry, but I do look at records on this in this section. This is just another great resource to use outside of FamilySearch, but still connected into FamilySearch. It will cross between the two and allow you to move the information over into FamilySearch. Now we're back into FamilySearch now. And so again, there are great resources here. FamilySearch, Ancestry, Find My Past, and My Heritage. All of those could be their own course entirely. They're all pretty in-depth search engines with a lot of power. So right now we're just really focusing on FamilySearch, touch base in Ancestry, and then Find My Past and My Heritage. I will put links for references on how to use those through other resources on my Facebook page. One of the hardest things to teach in family history is the thinking that goes behind the searching. So when I'm searching records, my brain is just firing all kinds of questions at myself. Could this be a possible mother? Is there a missing child? Look at the dates. Is there another husband? Are they buried here or there? And so my brain is constantly firing these questions. And that is the hardest part to teach, is what is going in my head to help you come up with the similar questions to ask yourself as you're investigating and trying to figure out who your ancestors are. I created a small mini series called Inside Out, and it's just me doing a live session. Nothing's like pre-recorded or really thought through. It's just me sitting down on my computer and doing what I typically do when I'm trying to search family members. And so I will record that and try to speak out what is going on in my head. So asking those questions, and I will throw them out verbally. And so I have one up already. It's an 18-minute video that you can watch of me searching. And I'm doing that as a tool to help you learn kind of the thought process, the questions that you could ask yourself as you are working on your own family tree and trying to find your ancestors. So hopefully that will be helpful to you. For homework, go to Google and see what you can find on any ancestor by using those quotes, and then check out Ancestry and see if you can find any new documents that you did not already find in FamilySearch. And we'll see you in the next lesson.